All right, chapter 13. Sorry, I'm getting really close to you. I like to sit on my foot. Okay, so anyway, chapter 13, we learned at chapter 12, they ran across this wreck. They ran into some murderers. They lost their raft. They're looking for the murderers' boat so that they can get away and not be stuck with nothing, no way of getting away with these people with a pistol that are up and ready to shoot their friend. So they eventually find it. And they're about to jump on when all of a sudden the two guys, Jake Packard and Bill, come out of the broken down ferry. And so they kind of hide. And then all of a sudden they get pulled back in. But this was after they took all of the loot that they took from all the money and everything that they took from this ferry that they attacked and broke down. They put it in the boat. So as soon as they go back in one last time, Jim and Huck quickly get into the boat. Remember, this is the middle of the night, so it's really dark. Push it out to the river, and they don't row. They're really smart because that would make a lot of noise, and they just float down. They get about 100 yards away, and then they start rowing. Well, then they look off in the distance, and they see their lantern coming back out, and they're like, oh, well, now they know that their boat's gone. And so then this is where Huck starts thinking, and he starts kind of feeling bad. These are really, really mean guys. They were willing to rob a ferry and everything on it. They were willing to tie up their friend and they were all threatening to shoot each other. And he started to feel kind of bad that he stole their boat. Huck has a conscience. He really does. And he just doesn't know good from bad. He tries to do good. He does. But the lessons that he's been taught that you kind of see throughout this are all from his dad, who we know is not great. His dad taught him that stealing's not stealing, it's borrowing, as long as in the back of your mind you say that someday you're going to repay that person. Not great advice, right? But anyway, so he starts to feel kind of bad. So he rakes up this whole idea that what he's going to do, they're going to search for the next person that they can find, or the next house, next boat, whatever. And he does. He finds someone sitting on a ferry boat, and it's this watchman. He goes up to him, and he has this whole elaborate story about how his family wrecked the Walter Scott. Remember, that was the name of the boat that was that the murderers were on. And he comes up with this whole elaborate story. Oh, we crashed, and I need you to go down there and help them. And my family, they're stuck there and they're scared. And this is this whole story, when really what he's doing is trying to get someone to go there and be there to help out these guys that are now stranded. Even though they're bad guys, Huck still wants someone to go down there to help them. And then he's just going to get the heck out of there and get far away and never see any of these people again. Well, just as he finishes up convincing this watchman that's on this ferry boat to go check out the situation after this big elaborate story, we see the ferry boat come down past him. And so we imply from that most likely the person that was tied up on the boat from last chapter, and then the two other robbers were on there too. Most likely the current got them and they didn't survive. What's implied is that the three robbers, two of which were almost murderers, are now dead. And Huck has a little bit of a thought too at the end of this chapter, and he thinks back to the widow, which again speaks of his consciousness. And he thinks, I bet the widow would be really proud of me that I tried to help those guys, because she's always trying to help. He calls them rapscallions and deadbeats. Those are the types of people that the widow always tries to help. And so he thinks, for doing that, for getting that guy to go down there and try to help them, the widow would be really proud of me. And then he meets back up with Jim, who was down. They find their raft again. They meet back up with their raft, which was floating down the river. So now they have the raft. So then they drown. They drill a hole and they sink the robbers' boat that they stole. And then they go up onto another island and go to sleep like dead people, they say. And that's the chapter. Um, we're going to see where it takes us next, but they got themselves out of that mess. We'll see where it goes from here, but the adventures of Huck, Finn, and Jim are far from over. Thanks for sticking with me. This one was slightly longer, so thanks for bearing with me on that. And keep up with your reading, keep up with the questions. And if you ever have actually any questions, you're not understanding something, vocabulary, whatever it is, just shoot me an email and I'll be happy to answer those for you. All right. Thank you.